This is eight. Oh, that's a good start, isn't
it? Foul start.
Take two. This is the 8-9 combo. I am Brett McKay. This is Harry Jones, and we are back for another edition, mate, of Games of the Week. How you doing?
How's it, Brett? We are doing really well. I think we're 90% on picking. We have about 10% duds. Let's raise our percentage. Let's get all the way to 100%.
Yeah. I think we might be all right this week too, because there's some good games to come, which we'll get to in a second. Don't forget, and please do go and find episode 9 of the 8-9 Combo Rugby Podcast with Laurie Fisher on all the pod platforms, Amazon Music and Audible, on Spotify and Apple, YouTube and their music varieties, on iHeart, and on whatever is left of Google Podcasts, literally wherever you get your pods. So please do like, follow, subscribe, and rate and review, and then share as well. We're loving our new end-of-week show. It's short, it's sharp. It's all about the games that really stand out to us, mate, at this back end of the week, and it gets us just thinking about the rugby world going into this weekend. And we want to hear from everyone too. So tell us what you think on the 8-9 at the 8-9 combo on all socials, and leave your thoughts in the comment section right here if you're watching us on our YouTube channel as well. Let's get into it, mate. This week's Games of the Week. Some ripping contests again, and we kick off with Super Rugby Pacific round 8 as we do. It's the second of the 3 bye weeks that are wedged in at this time of year. We start on Friday up in the very north of New Zealand, up in the Whangarei, with Moana Pacifica and the Queensland Reds. That's followed by the New South Wales Waratahs and the Crusaders in Sydney, and there'll be all sorts of 10-year celebrations of the 2014 final as well. On Saturday, we go over the ditch to the Hurricanes and the Chiefs in Wellington, and then the Melbourne Rebels and the Highlanders in Melbourne. And the pick of that is undoubtedly Hurricanes Chiefs.
Gotta be.
That's going to be a belting game. Have absolutely no doubt. And the Chiefs have sort of slipped back under the radar a bit in the last few weeks because they've been overtaken by the Blues and the Brumbies. And so they're down.
It's purely when Macca doesn't play, right? When Macca plays, they win. When Macca doesn't play, they lose. So right. It's all set up. It's funny because I think the way you put it, it's mostly Australian Kiwi games, which means all the Aussies will overread the results of the weekend. We're sure of that. It's going to be either like the second coming or it's going to be the demise. But the game of the week is actually a derby, which is cool.
Yes. Yeah. And look, it's going to be a really interesting game. As I say, it's second v fourth. The Hurricanes have won 6. They're
unbeaten.
They're 6 from 6. The Chiefs are 5-2 from their 7 games, but they're for and against their table standings and things like that are actually pretty similar. The Hurricanes have scored 33, conceded 17 tries. The Chiefs are 35-4, 23 tries against. Their for and against record is pretty similar as well. There's actually not much between these two teams, and it's really only the fact that it's in Wellington that I think you could definitely say the Hurricanes have a little edge this weekend.
It's big scoring teams, but often in these New Zealand derbies, it's actually very highly physical because they are proper rivalries. They don't like each other. These two teams don't like each other at all. There's a gravelly stripping kind of heritage of this rivalry.
There's a bit of history. There's a bit of history here too. That what was the original Hurricanes territory was like the bottom end of the South Island, whereas now the Chiefs have sort of come down that southwestern corner to take in, New Plymouth and Taranaki as well. So
lots of friendly sibling violence and niggle in this game for sure, but also quality. The tries will be fantastic. They'll be flying around, so I'm looking forward to it. And you can relax because the Brumbies have a bye.
And can't finish lower than 4th. So,
you can just enjoy the action.
I'm genuinely looking forward to just sitting down this weekend, beer, corn chips, just watching the rugby. I'm going to look forward to it. It's going to be great. I am looking forward to it. I will be curious to see how the Waratahs and the Rebels go because I think both those games are important markers for them as well. So we'll see how that plays out. Champions Cup quarterfinals this weekend, mate, and we've got 4 ripping games across Saturday and Sunday. Bordeaux and Harlequins in Bordeaux kicks us off on Saturday. Leinster and La Rochelle will not meet in the final this year. They will play in a quarterfinal at the Aviva in Dublin. Northampton and the Bulls. Are the Bulls having just one flight to England this week, or are they having the regulation 7 or 8 as well?
famously going all around the globe. But Jake was there early with his business flight.
Of course, yeah. Did they go all around? They not realize they could just fly north? Anyway, we get on a off track there. Toulouse and Exeter in Toulouse on Sunday rounds out the quarterfinals. What do you make of these? I think they're all ripping games. I
think two of them will be more ripping than the others. So I think we'll go to Leinster's frustration with La Rochelle, 32-23, 24-21, 27-26, and 16-9. That 16-9 score is the one that Nienaber was involved in. So the Minister of Defense, Jacques Nienaber, is with Leinster specifically almost for this match. You almost imagine that Leinster did this and said, we can score, but we cannot stop La Rochelle scoring in the second half. Who can bring in? Who could we think of who has been able to keep other teams down to 1 or 2 tries? So for Leinster to finally beat La Rochelle, or as they call themselves, Stade Rochelet.
This is Ireland's quarterfinal.
It's a microcosm of all that. But they brought in, South African guy to say, how can we stop someone from scoring? So Stade Rochelet. I don't know why do we call all the other French teams by their name except for La Rochelle? But so Stade Rochelet has spent the week in Cork, because guess what? Ronan O'Gara knows exactly how to troll Leinster. And so what they've been doing is developing a Cork rivalry, Munster rivalry with Leinster for all week, driving out in buses, appearing everywhere, and rallying the locals, literally turning the bottom half of Ireland against Leinster. It's hilarious.
Are they going to run in red jerseys as well?
and Raj, let's just throw us kind of a jeer to Ronan O'Gara, who's making complicated plans for his rugby team. He was quoted this is a real thing. I thought it was a parody, but he was saying that his wife cannot understand rugby because it's too complicated. And he wasn't being funny. So now I kind of want Leinster to win because he's such a doers.
Oh, that's funny.
So I do think La Rochelle will lose here because they barely beat. They had to stand under the poles and wait for Mani to miss a kick with 5 Stormers knocked out. It didn't look that impressive. And I think Leinster is kicking on.
And they're coming from a long way back in the top 14 too. Like it's only been a month they've sort of found form. So
it must be Ronan O'Gara's complicated rugby plans. But I just think I think Nienaber's got O'Gara's number here.
Yeah.
On the other one, I think Saints Bulls is interesting because
that's what I was going to say.
The Saints have been playing well all year. So have the Bulls. You have 2 really top teams. If the Leinster thing is more like how will this, long revenge story work out? The Saints and Bulls have no special rivalry. I just think it's interesting to see 2 teams playing really well. The Saints have your Angus Scott Young going pretty well. 24, 25 years old, doing really well. The Bulls, depending on which Bulls get there, the Odyssey, we'll see who rocks up. But they have been playing some really smart rugby. And we know about Jake White. We know that he can get up for one match really well. So I'm figuring these 2 matches are the ones. The other 2, I think they're going to roll. I think Bordeaux will roll over the Quins. I think the Quins have been spotty and Bordeaux has been magnificent. And I think home is going to dictate the other one as well.
So we're saying for the semifinals, 1 Ireland, 1 England, 2 France.
I think the Bulls actually, when you look at the stats, the internal stats, the Bulls are the best team left.
The Bulls win at Franklin's Gardens?
They're the best at overcoming their handicap. So like they play above their handicap on the line. They're a really good road team, and
they're going to need to be.
I think their strengths negate the Saints. So I'm saying the Bulls will win by 5 or 6.
Okay. Yeah, okay. All right. I'll be interested to see that one. Well,
and our friend Johan Jobert will be very happy that I said that.
He will. I say I look forward to seeing that one metaphorically because I literally can't watch it. So I'm going to have to wait till replays and clips and things come out on Sunday later in the day, my time. So we will see how we go. I did say earlier in the week that we'd mentioned the Bastard Son, the competition that no one ever talks about, the Challenge Cup. Challenge Cup quarterfinals this week. Gloucester and Ospreys in Gloucester. Claremont hosting Ulster. The Sharks hosting Edinburgh, and Benetton Connacht in Italy. I actually hope Benetton get up there. I hope Benetton get up. The Sharks beat Edinburgh.
Yeah,
it's they should at Kings Park.
Yeah, and they discovered that they're the Sharks again finally.
Yeah, they've discovered their teeth. Ulster, we've discussed them falling in a hole, haven't we? And I mean, it'd be a hell of an upset if Ospreys got over Gloucester at home, but I'm not sure.
I think the Challenge Cup heats up next week or the next round. I think this one's going to be. Yeah,
I think you're right. The Premiership, the URC, and the top 14 return next weekend. The European semi-finals are the weekend of May 4, 5, and 6. To Japan, mate, and we go to League One, and there's 4 weeks to go, and things are getting a little bit interesting and a little bit desperate, if you would like, on the table. So, Kobe Steelers got a bit of a touch up by Suntory last weekend, so they're now out of the top 4. They play the second place Toshiba Brave Loopers. So Dave Rennie's Steelers sort of kind of need to win their last 4 to guarantee a spot in the top 4. So they need to kick on. The Cannon Eagles are 4th. They play the winless Kintetsu Liners, which is where Quade Cooper, Wilgenia are. So, praying for a miracle might also help this weekend for the Steelers. And elsewhere, the Mitsubishi Dynaboars are playing. They can edge closer to mid-pack if they beat Toyota for Blitz. That's 9v7, and they'll just be clearer again of the relegation zone. So Toshiba v Kobe is the pick in Japan this weekend. No question about that. Otherwise, it's top teams are playing bottom teams, and it's all a bit processional.
What about the Hokkaido Fighting Artichokes? How are they doing?
My absolute favorite, Japanese team name, and they've changed it. The team that used to be known as the Mazda Blue Zoomers now go by Sky Active's Hiroshima.
They have such crazy mascots.
Oh, they're great.
There's the Regulians. There's the Water Gush. There's the
Water Gush. Yeah,
intoxicated squirrels. I don't know. It's just crazy out there.
NEC Green Rockets is a good one too. Yeah. Anyone who drives a Mazda know that they talk about Sky Active at the engine. So now they're just the engines. So anyway, there's a little Japanese lesson for you. Major League Rugby, mate. Round 7. What have you got for me this week? Who are we talking about? There's only
one match.
Bagging out the goddamn Houston Sabercats.
Let me tell you something. I'm the one who dubbed them the goddamn unbeaten Houston Sabercats. They are such a Safa team. They are literally your Safa team in the States. And by the way, when you say that city, make sure you say Houston with a Y. That's how the locals say it. Houston. If you put a H in there, they know you're not from there. It's a bayou city. It's a sprawling, foodie, spacey kind of weird, diverse city. They're appealing to a good swath of fans, though. So the Sabercats are filling up their stadium, and they host the Free Jacks.
So this is second in the Western Conference by a point behind Seattle. That's the goddamn Houston Sabercats.
But they're unbeaten, so it's really just
they are 5-0, and they are playing the New England Free Jacks, who are first in East.
Exactly.
So it's a ripping contest.
It's a big clash. I think the Free Jacks, who to me their mascot sounds too much like flapjacks, they're going to get eaten by the Safas, the Safa Cats. It's going to be good. I really have a love-hate relationship with the Houston Sabercats. They are.
I don't think there's much love there.
Coached by Heineke Meyer. I'm impressed by them. They're just finding a way to win. It's driving me crazy.
Yeah, right. Dallas Jackals play Utah Warriors this week, so we'll learn about how good their maul is next week, no doubt. But mate, that
is very strong.
So you keep telling me. But mate, that's it. That's it. The 5th edition of the Games of the Week. This is our service to rugby. We love bringing it to you at the end of each week. It is the perfect way to start thinking about the weekend's games. I am looking forward to this weekend. There's plenty to watch, isn't there? It's good.
This is a good one. If all of our unit administrations and unions can get along with our clubs and our clubs can balance their books, this is going to be a great sport. Come on, guys.
No, easy. It's simple when you put it like that, isn't it? But we do definitely want to hear from you. So tell us what you think at the 8-9 Combo, on all socials. Do leave your thoughts in the comments section if you're watching on the 8-9 Combo YouTube channel. You can find Harry and I on the socials in our usual places as well, at Harry Baldy Jones and at BMC Sport. And we do keep saying it. Please do like, follow, subscribe. on your pod platform of choice, here on YouTube as well, and ensure you do get every new episode as soon as it drops, particularly now that we're doing 2 episodes a week. If you haven't already, go and find episode 9 with Laurie Fisher. It is another great rugby chat, so don't miss that. This is Games of the Week from the 8-9 combo, the short side set piece combination you didn't realize you needed, coming to the podcast from the podcast double act you already had. I'm Brett McKay, he's Harry Jones, and we'll be back in your ears with our scientific calculators and our spreadsheets next week.
Shout out, respect the Johan. Come play with us.
Nice.
I think